You are the first person they call when everything falls apart. You are the last person they think of when everything is fine. You have sat with people through their worst nights, talked them off ledges, held the pieces together while yours were quietly coming undone. And when it was your turn, when the weight finally got too heavy, you looked around, and the phone didn't ring. You told yourself that's just how you are, that you don't need as much, that you're built for this, that some people give and some people receive, and you just happen to be a giver. That is not strength. That is a story you learned to tell yourself so the loneliness wouldn't hurt as much. Because the loneliness is there. You feel it at 11 p.m. when you've just finished helping someone solve a problem they created, and you close the chat and sit in the quiet and feel nothing back. No one asking how you are. No one checking. No one thinking to send the message they know you would have sent them 6 hours ago without thinking twice. You are surrounded by people who need you, and you have never felt more alone. That contradiction lives in your chest like a stone, and you don't talk about it. Because who do you tell? The people who need you can't hold this, and you have never learned how to ask. So you keep going. You keep giving. You keep answering. And every time you do, something in you gets a little quieter. People call you strong. They call you dependable. They call you a blessing. They call you when they need something. What they don't call you is first. What they don't call you is just to talk. What they don't call you is when they have good news, when they want to celebrate, when they just want company. There is a name for what built you this way. And once you hear it, the stone in your chest finally gets a name too. If you already feel it, drop one word in the comments right now. Here is what nobody tells you about people who help everyone. They didn't choose this. It was assigned to them before they were old enough to negotiate the terms. Somewhere early, in a house, in a family, in a dynamic that asked too much of someone too small, you learned that your value was contingent on your usefulness. Love was not freely given. It was earned. And the currency was availability. Caretaking. Showing up. Being the one who handles it. So you became that. You became the handler. The fixer. The one who holds it together. Not because it came naturally, because it felt like the only way to be safe. If you were useful, you couldn't be abandoned. If you were needed, you had a reason to be in the room. If you helped, they would stay. That is not generosity. That is a child's survival strategy that followed you into adulthood and now runs your entire relational life without your permission. And the cruelest part, it works. People do stay. People do need you. People do call. Just not the way you need them to. Just not when you need them to. You built a life where you are indispensable. And indispensable is not the same as loved. Indispensable means they need what you do. Loved means they need who you are. You have spent years being needed. You are starving to be loved. The exhaustion you feel, that bone-deep tiredness that sleep doesn't fix, that is not burnout from doing too much. That is the exhaustion of performing a role that was never yours to carry and waiting for a reciprocation that never comes. You are tired because you are running on a system that was designed to keep you giving and never let you receive. And some part of you knows it. And some part of you cannot stop. You see it now, don't you? This isn't who you are. This is what you learned. If you see it, go to the comments and type, "I see it." I'll be reading. Because this has a name. And the name changes everything. The pattern has been studied. It shows up in childhoods where emotional labor was demanded of someone too young to understand what emotional labor was. It shows up in families where one child becomes the regulator, the one who reads the room, manages the moods, absorbs the tension so the household can function. It shows up in friendships and relationships where the same dynamic replicates, where you unconsciously find people who need regulation, because that is the only relational role you know how to play. You are not drawn to people who need help because you are kind. You are drawn to them because being needed is the only love language you were ever taught to receive. This is called the caretaker wound. The belief, installed before you could question it, that your presence is only justified by your usefulness, that you must earn your place in every room you enter. The caretaker wound does not announce itself. It looks like virtue. It looks like loyalty. It looks like being a good friend, a good partner, a good child. From the outside, you look like the most giving person in any room. From the inside, you are counting, quietly, desperately, waiting for someone to give back without being asked. And when they don't, and they rarely do, because people who receive care without being asked rarely think to give it back without being asked, you don't say anything. You just give more. Because maybe if you give enough, they'll finally see it. They don't see it. Not because they are cruel. Because you made it invisible. You made the giving look effortless. You trained everyone around you to believe you don't need anything in return. You trained them so well that now, when you are drowning, nobody throws a rope because they never knew you could drown. You hid the weight so completely that the people closest to you have no idea how heavy it is. And you cannot be angry at them for not seeing what you never showed them. But you are angry. Somewhere underneath the giving and the helping and the showing up, there is a rage you do not let yourself feel. Because rage is not what helpers do. Rage is not useful. Rage does not earn love. So you convert it into more helping, into more availability, into staying up later and giving more and asking for less. And the stone in your chest gets heavier. Here is the counterintuitive truth that this wound hides from you. The helping is not selfless. It is self-protective. You help because stopping feels more dangerous than continuing. Stopping means finding out if they stay when you have nothing to offer. And some part of you already knows the answer. And you are not ready for that answer. So you keep going. But here is what that strategy costs you. Every relationship built on your usefulness is a relationship built on a lie. Not their lie, yours. The lie that says you are only worth keeping if you are useful. And you cannot be truly known by anyone, cannot be truly loved by anyone, as long as that lie is running the connection. The people in your life know the version of you that shows up and handles things. They do not know the version of you that sits in the quiet at 11 p.m. and feels nothing back. You have never shown them that version. You don't know if it's safe. It was not safe once. That is true. In the place where this started, in the house, in the family, in the dynamic, showing need was dangerous. Showing weakness cost something. You learned to hide it because hiding it was survival. But you are not there anymore. And the people around you now, most of them, are not that. Most of them would show up if they knew. But they don't know, because you never learned how to let them. The caretaker wound doesn't just make you give too much. It makes you invisible to your own needs. You have spent so long attending to everyone else's emotional reality that you have lost fluency in your own. Someone asks how you are, and you say fine. Not because you are fine, because you genuinely don't know how to locate the answer anymore. The question feels foreign, like being asked for directions in a language you used to speak. You have outsourced your own inner life. You know exactly what everyone around you needs. You cannot name what you need. And that gap between how fluent you are in others and how lost you are in yourself, that is the wound speaking. And here is what changes when you have a name for it. When you know this is a wound and not a personality, you get to stop performing it. Not all at once, not by withdrawing, but by asking, slowly, carefully, one moment at a time, what would it mean to give to myself first? Not instead of others. Before, what would it look like to be someone who is also on their own list? Who answers their own call sometimes? Who holds their own weight before picking up someone else's? The people who deserve to be in your life will not leave when you stop being endlessly available. The ones who leave when you set a boundary, they were never there for you. They were there for the service. You are allowed to find out which ones those are. You are allowed to let the ones who only wanted the service go. That loss will feel like abandonment. It is actually excavation. You are not too much. You are not asking for too much. You have been asking for too little for too long and calling it strength. It was never strength. It was fear dressed up in a helping hand. There will be a moment, maybe soon, maybe not, when someone calls and you are tired, and for the first time you say not tonight. And the silence after you say it will feel unbearable. Sit in that silence anyway. That discomfort is not a sign you did something wrong. It is the sound of an old rule breaking. The rule that said your worth was conditional. That rule is finally cracking. Some people will be confused by the new you. Some will adjust. Some will quietly disappear. And that will hurt. And that will also tell you exactly who they were. The ones who stay even when you have nothing to offer but your presence. Those are the first real evidence you've had in years that you are loved, not just useful. You are still the first person they call when everything falls apart. But now you know why. And knowing why is the first time in a long time that the phone ringing has felt like a choice and not a sentence.